so Mike's going to do a little bit of role play with us on objection training. Mike's one of our seasoned vets. He's definitely going to be a little bit more equipped to be able to handle some of these objections, but I've not given him literally any examples. I'm just going to throw him some curveballs and we'll see where it goes. What's up, man? How can I help you?
Hey there, how you doing today?
Doing good.
Sorry to drop in on you. My name's Mike. I work with the storm division of PCR Roofing. We've been allocated to the area after the last couple of storms that we had blow through. Super crazy, like freak thunderstorms.
Yeah.
Not sure if you've seen some of our signs in your neighbors' yards, but we've actually been working with a few of your neighbors to get them their entire roof replaced for either a significant discount or totally at the cost of their insurance company. Is that something you've heard of before?
I can't say I've heard of it before, but I have seen your signs, actually. I think I've seen the black one with the storm stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. We're actually helping out Mr. and Mrs. Jones just down the street. Their approval came through just the other day. They're going to end up getting the whole roof on their house for just their insurance deductible, which was $1,500. Can't say it always goes quite that well, but there's a very good chance. We have a long history of working with people's insurance companies and homeowners just alike to replace their roofs or make significant repairs to their roofs for a very little cost. So you said you hadn't heard a lot about the process. Give it to you real short. Basically, all I'm looking to do for people out here today is a quick inspection of your roof to see if you have some damages from those storms that we talked about. Now, if you do, then you'd be in good shape to start going through the process. We'd be able to walk you through how all that works. But if you don't have those types of damages, I'm really not interested in wasting your time or my time. So all we're really looking to do is take an inventory of what we have going on up there. You know, if we have those types of damages, then you might be in really good shape for this new roof. If it's something you've been thinking about, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We'll be able to tell more after the inspection. So I've got a ladder in the truck. If you just give me about 15, 20 minutes or so to take a quick look at it, I'd be in a much better position to tell you how we can move forward. Does that sound fair to you?
Man, you know, we've got somebody in the neighborhood. We've got a roofer. So yeah, I think we're good. We got a guy.
Sure. Yeah,
got a guy.
I understand. Yep. And if you have somebody you trust, you know, that's fine. What I find in a lot of those circumstances is a lot of people have, you know, handymen or even people in the family that do roofing for them. There's a big difference between what we do here at Potomac and what a lot of other roofers do. We have a ton of experience working for those insurance companies, right? Or working with them to get you that approval for your roof. Now, I'm sure whoever you want to work with would be more than willing to sell you a retail roof and, you know, take your money, even if it's a great deal. What I'm offering here today is for us to work with your insurance company and potentially get you a roof for less than the materials would cost. I don't care who you work with, but more than likely, even if it's a close friend, they're not going to do it for less than what they're buying the materials for. Just something to think about, you know, and like I said, it all starts with getting that inspection. If you don't have the damages, you don't have the damages. Plain and simple. I'm not in the business of just pushing people to go through the insurance process when I don't think there's a chance. Just give me about 15 minutes or so, you know, to knock it out, and at least then I'll be able to show you some pictures. I'll be able to, you know, better explain what's going on up on the roof. And if you still want to work with the guy, you know, that's fine, but just give me a chance to look at it. Would that be all right with you?
You haven't given me much to argue with you on that, so yes, that would be all right.
Okay, awesome. What's your name, sir?
Ken?
Okay, Mr. Ken, and if you don't mind my asking, do you know who your insurance provider is? Okay, the only reason I ask, every individual insurance carrier throws these little hoops, you know, along the way. For the most part, they're all very similar, but we work with a good amount. We'll get a little bit further into your policy, but first things first, I'm gonna hop up there, take a look. I'll wrap back up on the door in about 15, 20 minutes or so. You'll also see me, as I put my boots on to walk around up there, I'm gonna go ahead and strap a camera on. I just wanted to let you know ahead of time. There's something that we're doing here at PCR. We call it a digital roof inspection. Okay. Essentially, it allows us to better document the condition of your roof as we first inspected it. Not to burden you with all this, but every once in a while we'll get an insurance company that will refute what we found. They throw some implications in there that are sometimes nasty. By me strapping that camera on, that essentially just takes all of that out of the equation. It's proof right in front of their face that we found it the way we found it, and there's no argument over the damages at that point. I would also ask you just to, I'll show it to you in a few minutes, but I'd ask you just to initial somewhere showing that we were only on that roof that time, as long as that's all right with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that
awesome.
makes sense, man.
I'm gonna go grab my ladder, and I'll let you know as soon as I'm done.
Awesome. He just delivered everything about it right then and there at the door. I didn't see anything wrong with the way that you just delivered that just now.
And in all honesty, I haven't done it enough on the street yet here. I'm sure there will be objections at some point with that alone. Objections are kind of funny to me because you can break down, like, we can sit here and role play for all day long and throw out every objection that we've heard so far. Every once in a while, somebody's just gonna come up with a new one right in front of your face, and you're gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know? Somewhere along the line, somebody's gonna have a problem with that
Did
video
you,
inspection.
and I love that, how you overcame that roofer objection. You didn't think about it. I don't know. Did they clearly tell you all, like, hey, we've got a roofer, and yes, they do insurance? You probably didn't even get that far, did you?
No.
Right. I was thinking that the whole time. I'm like, you got to think, dude, like, what's the chance that those guys actually do the insurance route? Perhaps, maybe they do. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, look, you know, and then you have more things, like, Mike was really adamant, like, hey, and you never want to disparage, ever. You never disparage another company. Never. That's going to make you look bad way before it's going to make them look bad. It's going to lose you credibility before they lose it.
Yeah, because how about if they're talking about their brother?
Right.
You know, or somebody
You never
like
know
that.
who that
probably
could
does
be.
shit work. Who cares?
But I just thought that was such a good, like, if you guys even go back, like, they're doing what we're doing, like, let me just be clear, like, hey, that's great. You could always work with them, but let me just take a look. You give them, like, what's the harm in that, right? And I think in what he did, it's just, Mike remains calm. You could tell for like the first 15 seconds, the camera and being put on the spot, having just walked in, then he calmed down and it's just like, dude, I've done this enough times to where I'm not gonna just hear. The important thing, what he didn't do, is hear no and go, well, all right. Sorry anyhow, you know what I mean? Like, no, he was like, hey, cool, I totally hear what you're saying. Let me offer up. They may not do insurance, they may, but, you know, let me take a look.